Thanks for tuning in to Animals in Ames today. I'm Lorna Lavender at the Ames Animal Shelter, and my first guest is Bixby. And hopefully, yep, he's still winking a little bit on that left eye. He had a minor eye infection that we're treating him for, and he is responding to treatment. Bixby is a beautiful neutered orange tiger male. He's a youngster, about 2 years old. He's a very athletic cat. So what I tell people is he's a lion in a little cat body, and most cats are that way, but he just loves to be athletic and jump and climb and chase and play, and is kind of a dominant cat, but not an aggressive cat at all. And so he needs a little bit of bossing around in the appropriate way. You'll notice that when I have a cat on the show, I more often than not restrict my petting and scratching to the head and cheek area. This is one way to win a cat over that doesn't know you very well, and to increase their confidence in you and their comfort level. It's like you and I shaking hands, really. So we advise people at the shelter, including volunteers, to really work on the safe area, the kitty handshake we call this, and this is a good way to develop a rapport with the cat. Another thing that we ask people to keep in mind when they come to the shelter and they handle cats is don't expect too much from a cat who has to look at 40 strangers or more per day in their cage, and they can't go and hide and do the normal things that a cat might do. And so when we subject them to that, we're really expecting a lot from them if we want them to sit nicely on our laps and not have any stress about it. That's a little too much. So what I like is just to let them hang out in a room with me, subject them to the kitty handshake, and when they show me that they have a good comfort level, he's about at the end of his comfort level right now, when they show me that they have a good comfort level by initiating play, by doing some light grooming on themselves, and things like that, we will go ahead and then interact a little bit more with them. So, it's important to just know about cats. We investigate many cat bites on people in Ames, and typically a cat bite occurs when a stranger tries to pick up or pet a cat that doesn't know it. So, assuming that the cat wants to be pet by us, and if a cat comes up to you and starts rubbing against you, it's really only wanting you to smell like it. It's not asking to be pet, so that might be surprising for some people. But you can really develop a good relationship and a friendly exchange relationship with a cat over time. My next guest is Survivor, and he's happily purring on my lap here. He has beautiful green eyes, and this guy came to us as a young, intact male cat, a stray. He was very sick, he had wounds that weren't healing, and we weren't sure. He was very dehydrated, and we weren't sure what we were looking at in terms of his health. Well, as you can see, he's glossy, healthy, his weight's back, and he's all healed. So many animals leave here in so much better condition than when they arrive. And Survivor's one of many, many yearly examples of that. He probably got in a lot of cat fights that he lost out on the streets, so he's really not fond of other cats in a home. He did adopt out and was returned because of lack of compatibility with the other cat. He's an awesome kitty, and it might have even been the other cat that was picking on him. I'm not sure about that. So maybe a young spayed female would be a good companion cat to introduce to him, but for now he needs to be a Lone Star kitty. So my next guest is a fairly new arrival, and I'm asking a lot from her to sit pretty in front of the camera, but I think she can handle it. Her name is Precious. She is a 5-year-old spayed female German Shepherd crossed with a collie. She needs a relationship with a person that involves daily walks, routine care. She's a little dominant, not aggressive, but dominant. So when her owner sees her exercising her dominance, getting ideas here to make decisions that she's not qualified to make, you need to be able to work with that, stop it before it starts. So it might look like jumping at a window because somebody's walking by and beginning to bark a little more energy up. So it might be like, shh, Precious, look at me, sit, something like that, and then you will ultimately earn her respect. And give her something to do to distract her that's fun. give her a Kong toy that has a treat hidden in it that she has to figure out, a little puzzle of how to get it out. So that you can give her positive reward and reinforcement as well. And just manage dogs like that and she'll be great. She has no bite history. She does have a dominance tendency with other female dogs. So she would probably do well with a neutered male dog that she could boss around, or again, as your only companion, managed and loved by you. This is Precious, available for adoption. Thank you for tuning into Animals and Ames today. We sure hope that you can come out and visit our Faces Needing Places. Also want to just give you a quick warm weather warning. We are getting a lot of calls about dogs left in cars, and when it was appropriate to do it, when it was overcast 72 with the windows cracked, this week would be inappropriate. We're up in the 80s, the humidity has climbed. If you want to know how quickly the internal temperature of your car with windows cracked on an average summer day climbs, how quickly that temperature climbs, get a very inexpensive thermometer, a few bucks, put it inside the car and test it out. You will be shocked and surprised. Animals can succumb to heat stroke and heat stress at lower temperatures than we once knew were possible. So please keep them safe, keep them at home. And want to tell you about an event coming up, a really fun event. It's on June 22nd, and it's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's the Shelter 2013 Shelter Shindig. This year, the host sponsoring this event is C&K Heating, Cooling, Geothermal, Plumbing, and Architectural Metal. Okay, I wouldn't have gotten that right if I hadn't had a little help. So it's C&K. Most of us think of C&K Heating and Cooling. And their lawn, they'll have tents, and they'll have music, and they'll have food, and they'll have animals up for adoption, nail trimming for animals, rabies vaccines for $10, $35 microchipping. What a great thing that they're doing. They're getting support from area veterinary clinics. It's the 2013 Shelter Shindig benefit for the animal shelters of Ames and Story County, hosted by C&K. So hopefully you can do that. There'll be more about that on our Facebook page. So if you want to go there, all you have to do is like us, click on the Ames Animal Shelter. We have a little red chow dog with a big smile on his face on our Facebook page. That's how you'll know you got our actual page. So we hope to see you at Shelter Shindig or here at the Ames Animal Shelter. Thanks for tuning in.